everybody, welcome back. So I'm gonna walk us through some transactions that happened. This is week 3 of February. I can't believe how fast this month has been flying by. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, my bank accounts are up to date, and more so my spending is up to date. So let's go through a few of these now that things have kind of settled on the actual card that I spent on. So first up, we have $31 that I spent on DoorDash. My internet bill came out, which was $78. I got a deal on Canva, so I just decided to keep my membership going for a couple more months. Yeah, so I don't mind, and I have money in my junk drawer. I will probably move this from March into the subscriptions and just up it there, because it's probably better to track it as what it actually is, which is a subscription. I needed to get more vitamins. I'm gonna put that in the memo line because I will not remember. This is also a monthly transaction that's going to happen going forward. So what I've done on my budget is I have actually started funding $35 a month just to cover that. It's a little bit less than 35 bucks, but may as well have a little bit of a buffer in this category going forward. I also will probably need to, the bill still hasn't come for my annual deductible for my health plan. They sent me like a statement of benefits, which has shown that I will need to, cover the deductible, but yeah, for some reason that's not the actual bill. So I will just keep holding. Where's that money? Down here somewhere. I'll just keep holding this here until I actually get the bill, and then I will transfer the money. I'll pay on my card, because why not get some points, and then I will just pay it off since I have the money sitting here. And then once that's done, I will need to start funding this again. So I think YNAB should, once I actually spend from this account, YNAB should tell me that I need to start saving X amount of money, dollars per month towards next January, so that I have this built back up. But we shall see what YNAB decides to do once I actually spend the money. Cool, so going back to the card just to make sure I'm all caught up, I spent some money on groceries. That's correct. Oops. All right, is there anything else that's missing? And gas. Okay, so those I'm gonna reconcile. And then there's a couple more transactions that I do need to add in, which they're not settled yet, but they will settle soon. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do them because it's a little easier. So I had my electric bill for last month come out. And then I also have my Google, and I am saving monthly towards this now, so hopefully my subscriptions category for the month doesn't go over in the next few days. I don't think it should, but let's see what happens. So I'll reconcile those once they actually settle, but jumping back into the budget, let's see, subscriptions has, it had, oh good, it had some money left over from last month, and so I assigned an extra $90, which takes care of all of these things down here. And then I just spent money from that on a few things which are listed. So I think that actually, I wish I could scroll at the same time. Okay, there we go. So let's see. I have my TV. Ring is annual and will happen in March. I should probably make a note of that here just because I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Google One is happening now, but I'm saving monthly towards it. Adobe happened. Apple TV happened. Apple Storage happened. NVIDIA will happen every 6 months. YNAB is once a year. And then these two things are, I think, every 6 months. So I'm just saving towards them. So I've just set my target as like all of this, if I was to pay it monthly, so that by the time comes, I should have money sitting in the account. So let's hope for the best. Okay, I think that was it. There was a few more. I've reconciled this already, but basically my Apple TV and iCloud storage came out. I had a credit, so this is not the real price of Apple TV, but I had money this month from like a cashback and it just gets applied to the card. So it didn't, yeah, this is the amount that like it actually charged me, even though it's less than that, or sorry, more than that on a regular basis. So at the end of the month, I will just pay this off. And then same with my regular credit card once that's done. I also had, oh, this needs to be reconciled. So I did have some spending in my checking account. I am going to a class with a friend in March, but we've already bought the tickets now. So I Venmoed them for it, and then I had some money come in from a PayPal payout, so that was put into ready to assign. And I already actually funded that out. Across a few things. I think I just funded it into, I funded some of it into this annual contribution line, and then I think I just covered something else that needed to be covered. I don't actually remember, but that's okay. Oh, I covered the overspending in this category, and it got overspent because of that class ticket. So I had the money in other places, so I just moved it in order to cover that overspending. I think that was pretty much it. I am going to be budgeting out these dollars, and what I think I'm going to do is actually budget them out into March now, but into categories that are not refill up to, because that way we will actually, at the end of the month, you know, when the time comes for any of these that have some extra money to roll over, those will roll over first, and then I can budget out my second paycheck that I'll get at the end of February. I can budget that into kind of the leftover categories. So with that, why don't we jump in? I'm gonna minimize these poor wish farm and wish list. I will come back to you eventually in life, my friends. Oh, one other thing that you're gonna see soon is I have some unexpected car repairs that need to happen. So I already know that this amount is not gonna cover it, though it will cover, you know, a significant chunk of it. So I'm gonna need to cover that in some way, and my guess is that I will be able to fund the rest of the difference using things like the money in clothing, shopping, and then kind of any leftover dollars here that don't get spent this month from my like variable categories, and also probably whatever's left over in the junk drawer. So the reason I want to do that and try to like cover it with money I currently have is so that I don't need to spend my new paycheck covering that. So I'm actually, what I'm going to do, so it's gonna end up being on my credit card. I got a quote. So what I'll do is let me go, oh actually, if I do it this way now, it will take it out of ready to assign. Okay, so I'm not gonna do it right now. Once that actually hits my bill, then I'll go back and reconcile, but for now, we can assign this money out to March, and then I think we should be fine to cover that expense once it comes in. So I'm gonna move this money to ready to assign so that it just comes out here and doesn't give me a negative in the next month. And then I'm gonna skip forward to March, and what I'm gonna do is only put money in the categories that I know are not refill up to. So my mortgage needs to get funded. That's already a pretty hefty chunk, but you know, such is life. Okay, and then I need to fund my property tax stuff. So 803 will get us there. And then actually I need to check the total because I put, I think it's 965. Yeah. So I'm gonna put another $100.58 here. And that's not going to be anywhere close to what I need for that month, but it'll all literally come back going forward because starting from April, I will be funding this like with $900. So it'll kind of make up for that difference. Yeah, cool. So that's taken care of. I have 755.59. Well, I guess the HOA is next. Oh my gosh. Alarm can get funded. My internet had money left over, and so did electric, so I'm just gonna wait on that. And I can fund my phone. Okay, $3.60. Wonderful. Nothing to scoff at, but still kind of crazy that I barely got through all of these big expenses, but that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back into or I'll put it in the starting block, I guess. Okay, and then that way when I come to March and I take it out, it'll be fine. Cool. All right, so that makes, I think, brings us to what I wanted to show today. I will be back once I get paid next week and can assign money into March. And then by then my car payment for some repairs will also have been finished, and so I can move some money around to cover it from hopefully some of these like categories that I don't necessarily, you know, use on a regular basis. So let's see if my plan works when we check back in. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Noodlenomics. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and get notified when I post more videos. It would really help me out. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of Noodlenomics.